It's going great. Yeah, we've been yeah, it's been really interesting this time around because the last two tours that we were on were pretty crazy right out the gate. We were playing show after show after show and then have like one day off and then show after show after show. And I think this time around we have a lot more hands and a lot more help and a lot more days off in between shows. That's going to change up very quickly when we jump back out on the road again in the next few days. But yeah, it's been really interesting this time. It's great. I mean, I've driven past that spot because I think Bishop's Pumpkin Patch is past that. And so I grew up driving past the venue and everything, which is so funny. This is very cool. Yeah, it's really cool to be able to play there. I think the venue is kind of in the middle of nowhere a little bit, which is kind of awesome. So that'll be it's cool that folks are gonna come out to that. Oh, it totally adds to the energy. I mean, it's so amazing that they've gotten to kind of listen to me play at the house and everything and at family gatherings and all that. And so every time there's a show and they get to see it, kind of get bigger and bigger and see the crowds get bigger and bigger, it just feels kind of like, oh, like cool, it worked out, Because I think like universally all families are supportive, but there's also like, are you sure you want to be a musician full time and like, try and figure that out? Because, I think most of the time I don't know that it works out. So, so I'm very fortunate and grateful that it has worked out and that they get to see that over and over and over again, continue to grow, and that feels good. So it's exciting more than anything else. I think it's something that feels pretty natural. I don't think it's something that we really trying too hard for, thinking too hard about, because I think that's what makes it a special moment is the fact that it happens in the moment. And nothing's rehearsed at our shows. Any moment that does happen between fans and myself and the band, like it's because, we're all sharing in this love of music and these songs and this record that has been so special to all of us. And so I don't know. I think the balance really is just like making sure that there's good sleep before we actually get out and do it. So that we're in tune with the crowd and everything, because I think that's when those moments happen, is uh when we're just as excited as the crowd is to see us, like we're just as excited to see them and everything, which there's never a shortness of excitement seeing them. So yeah. I think as it relates to like the Troubadour and Evangeline and the 60s sound and like the 50s sound, I'm not sure, to be honest. I know that I want to tell different stories, and I know that there's definitely more to be said, out of a place of telling stories for sure, and out of different characters. um but I don't know that it involves doing the same thing twice, because I think that it's such a special record, and I think it will remain that if I don't try and do it again. I think if I really switch it up, I think that's what's going to make this time and that moment, like, oh, do you remember when we'd go see Stephen Sanchez and like we all dressed up in like 50s and 60s sock hop, rockabilly outfits, and like, he slicked his hair back and now he's just not doing that at all anymore, and we miss that. um I think that's yeah, I think that's like a very special thing. Like I have a lot of records that bands have moved so far from their you know old sounds that like those records remain like timeless in my brain of like when they were special. So I think yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I guess that answers the question. I don't know, and no, I think yeah. It's so funny because like it was on a day where we were all kind of feeling a bit dead in the studio. Dead meaning just we were all exhausted, didn't feel like writing and everything. And we went and got tacos. Not even joking. We all had writer's block and we got tacos and like ate. And then we came back and we were like, let's just try something different. Let's just like set me up with a mic and an amp and like let's just like ad lib whatever. And we did that for like 20 minutes. And we played Emotional Vacation for like 20 minutes. Before it was Emotional Vacation, before all the lyrics were like chosen and stuff. But no, all the lyrics in the whole song and the chorus was written from like an ad lib moment where I was just playing through random things, saying random things, coming up with random things and random melodies. And then, yeah, we all like kind of cut it together and we're like, oh, this kind of sounds good. And then like we went back and like did it proper. And then there was the song. Those things are funny. Songs are funny. Sometimes it's a concept for sure. Like there was a lot of the new record where I was writing from a lot of like themes, like, all right, let's write a song that's like longing. Because, we're trying to mirror the characters contextually, like, oh, the troubadour was longing for Evangeline. So we need a song about longing. Oh, the troubadour stealing Hunter's girlfriend. We need like a big middle finger song. Yeah. And so I think sometimes there were some songs that stuck in there, like Emotional Vacation, that were just ad libbed and were just fun and kind of came out of a place that wasn't, not even that there's pressure in the songs that don't require an ad lib, but less pressure for sure. Kind of always in that vulnerable headspace because I am such a hopeless romantic, and I love love and like creating moments and stuff. And um yeah, I don't know. So writing songs like that, I mean, I've just always kind of been like that, just as far as like just being very in tune with my emotions and like knowing how I feel and knowing what I want. I think has been very helpful in assisting the songwriting. So yeah. Oh yeah, like going down to Old Sac and everything, and going to Joe's Crab Shack when I was growing up, getting like the kids version of like the Shark Attack drink. Loved that. Walking around, going to I think Candy Heaven is what it is. I forgot what it's called. Is it called that? I think it's called that. And then going to like Stage 9 and stuff, and like all the little shops and everything like that. And I used to busk down in Old Sac too. Like that was like my thing. How I like first started singing and playing was like on the street, which was great. And yeah, it was awesome. And then El Dorado Hills is such a town center. Love town center. So great. Used to run around there. When they did the fireworks there, that was really fun. Sacramento County Fair, State Fair, not even, yeah. It's great. Cal Expo. It's so funny. It's so funny to think about all that stuff. But no, it's great. I mean, I saw some of my first shows, Golden One Center. Gotta love it. It's awesome. I mean, totally. I mean, scenery wise, yeah. And like, I think, I left Sacramento when I was still in high school and moved to Nashville. So I kind of got like the immediate switch up of like, okay, now these are like, this is fundamental life changing stuff. And like now, oh my God, we're in our 20s and like we reached that point being in Nashville instead of, my hometown. And so I think it's unique in that way where it's like, I didn't really get to experience anything other than like my like real childhood in my hometown. So it's good. It feels like it's like, okay, childhood is my hometown. Adulthood is like Nashville, like touring, that whole thing, which is great. And I think I'd feel like a mix of the two if I was still living there. I'd be like, I'm so like I still feel like you know, I'm a young adult. I'm an adult, but it's like, you know, I definitely would feel like a kid if I still was in my hometown. I didn't move and I just stayed there, I think. I just don't know because there's not like I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's just make really great music that's like that adds to um the world. Don't make music that's like following a trend or like following what's popular. Like that's so lame. It's just so lame to do that. Like it's gonna last longer, doing something that no one else was doing, I think. Um Even if that's only recognized, in a small way, I think it's important to do that. Yeah, I think, yeah, probably that. I mean, there's no like, I couldn't tell anybody how to do this because it just feels totally accidental that this all happened for me. So I don't know. Well, who knows? Probably that. Just not thinking about being famous. That's probably a big thing. I don't think I'm famous or anything like that. So I think that that's a great place to operate out of because it's just like then you write songs that you just care about and like aren't trying to please anybody, you know. And that was until I found you. I was just writing a love song. So yeah, my faith is such a massive part of my life, and it's become even an even bigger part of my life. And when I was growing up, I grew up in the church and everything, but I hated it. Hated that vibe. And then I grew into just needing it for myself when I started really getting into it and like making a lot of mistakes and kind of just getting lost in it. And I think it's been very grounding just knowing that I don't have to be anything other than just who I am. And um yeah, and that's so nice. So that's a really important part of my life, and um it's kept me very much on a good path and kept me in a good space emotionally, which has been really great. It's been really great for me. It'll be the best show that you see this year. I think a lot of artists, their shows are really great. And, Noah Khan, respectfully, is probably one of the best live acts right now. Unbelievable. Um, Sabrina Carpenter's got a great thing going, the dancers and everything. Um, yeah, I don't know, but I think what's unique to our shows is that we are just a bunch of young dudes out here, doing something that a lot of people aren't doing. I mean, we're doing a live televised fictional TV show, and we are the fictional guests, Stephen Sanchez, the Mooncrests, playing live in front of a studio audience, which is you, the audience at whatever venue that we're playing at. And I think that, there's not a lot of theatrics going on in shows outside of like a lot of dancing and stuff, but there's lore with our show. There's something a lot deeper there. And I think there's a lot to explore and a lot to dive into and, pull apart, among the layers. And I think that any anybody coming to our show, there's a song for your girlfriend or your grandma. So it's perfect for everyone. It's great. Connie Ko, he's like the televised, fictional show host and everything. And I probably a lot of stuff that he says, the lore and what it nods to, telling the story on the back of the record and stuff. And um, yeah, talking about, Evangeline, like little hints here and there of like certain songs and everything. So yeah, definitely a lot of that for sure. A new song, it feels good. Wrote a couple new songs, trying to just figure it out. It's been a while, and we've been touring the same songs for about a year, which feels great. But yeah, I have no idea really what I want to make just yet, which is so exciting. Love that. So um it's been a slow burn, but it's going great. It's great. I'm in no rush. Yeah, I don't know. Like I just it's crazy. Cause it makes me feel like I'm fit for this line of work and everything. Cause it just, yes, well in their rights, they're legends, they're incredible artists and songwriters, but they're also like just lovely humans too. And it's nice to just be able to connect on a human level over something that humans love so much, which is music. And so to be able to kind of have my art, recognized by these people who make really great music and that has been universally praised feels really wonderful. It feels like a really beautiful thing, and I'm so grateful to have gotten to be a part of their lives in a small way, because they've also gotten to be a part of mine, and like that feels really beautiful because yeah, we're just connecting in music, and that's so nice. That's so nice, and I love music, and so yeah, I feel very very fortunate and very grateful to them for putting me in front of their crowds, because their crowds are really big, and I think that that's a tremendous gift that they've given me. So it's very cool. Man, you're gonna love it. If you didn't before, you will. It's gonna be great. Come on out. It'll be real good time. You're not gonna want to miss out on it. It's the last time we're doing it. It's the last time we're doing this 50s, 60s thing. So you might as well catch it before it's gone.